Good afternoon, good evening. This is Shindo.
This is Lucifera.
We have a special today with the Secret Book of John because today we're actually holding our House of Hallel meeting. So during the course of reading this, the construction of the human body chapter, we will pause for any questions that the members of the House of Hallel might have to discuss them. We have also here our good friend Robert, who will contribute when and if he can during the course of the reading of this. As before, Lucy will be reading the actual text and I will be reading the annotations. All right, the construction of the human body. As Yaldabaoth created his demonic subordinates through the divine power he received from his mother, God's wisdom, he could not help but allow divine aspects of the power to affiliate with those demons. Astraphaios, with a hyena's face, had divinity associated with it. Lordship came to Yao, whose face was that of the seven-headed serpent, and so forth. Now those divine powers take action in the process of creating the human, quote, image of God, unquote. They work from the inside out, from the physical deepest part of the human body, the bones, towards the surface features of the skin and hair. But this is a human made out of psychic by divine powers. Matter is not yet involved. The term psyche has to do with a person's consciousness, self or animating element. It means soul and implies the presence of consciousness and divinity.
The seven powers began to work. Goodness made a psyche of bone. Providence made a psyche of sinew. Divinity made a psyche of flesh. Lordship made a psyche of marrow. Kingdom made a psyche of blood. Zeal made a psyche of skin. Understanding made a psyche of hair.
From here on out, demons will be controlling the creation process until the material body is completed. But at the outset, humanity is soul and psyche only. The body parts and factors are ideal forms rather than the material parts they eventually will be. While Gnostics generally thought that the physical human body was a dwelling place of the demons and an imprisonment for the divine power humans will eventually possess, this part of the Secret Book of John implies that our underlying physical structure is not without divine inspiration. A human being is modeled on the revealed full mind of God, the Pleroma. The various forms of psyche, souls, or animations of the various features of the human body are brought about through the work of the divine powers within Yaldabaoth's demonic underworld. We will hear shortly about the demon's creation of an imprisoning material body to encase the psychic body. Paul writes about the two types of body in 1 Corinthians 15:50-54, but in his view, the immaterial body will replace the material body. According to the Secret Book of John, the two bodies now coexist in every person.
The host of demons took these substances from the powers to create the limbs and the body itself. They put the parts together and coordinated them. The first ones began by making the head. Abron created his head. Menegestheroth created the created the brain. Asterechme, the right eye. Thasmoecha, the left eye. Ironomos, the right ear. Besum, the left ear. Achiorim, the nose. Beneferum, the lips. Amen, the front teeth. Ipicon, the molars. Basidiomades, the tonsils. Tonsils, aha, the uvula, or the uvula. Adaban, the neck. Haman, the neck bones. Dircho, the throat. Tebar, the shoulders. Nearchon, the elbow. Abitrion, the right arm. Evathon, the left arm. Cleese, the right hand. Bului, the left hand. Trenu, the fingers of the right hand. Babel, the fingers of the left hand. Kliman, fingernails. Estrops, the right breast. Berov, the left breast. Beom, the right shoulder joint. Aririm, the left shoulder joint. Ereche, the belly. Pithafe, the navel. Senaphim, the abdomen. Arachipopi, the right ribs. Zabedo, the left ribs. Barianes, the right hip. Pineoth, the left hip. Abenofki, the marrow. Canobnerim, the skeleton. Gesol, the stomach. Agoromona, the heart. Bano, the lungs. Sostropol, the liver. Anesimalara, the spleen. Thipatoro, the intestines. Biblo, the kidneys. Reoror, the sinews. Tafaro, the spine. The epistoba, the veins. Benebori, the arteries. Atemonephi, a respiration. Etheolea, the flesh. Baduk, the right buttock. Arabi, the penis. Alo, the testicles. Soroma, the genitals. Goromalekaibar, the right thigh. Neberith, the left thigh. Serem, the kidneys. The right leg. Asaklas, the left kidney. Orameoth, the right leg. Amenum, the left leg. Nix, the right shin. Tepuleon, the left shin. Achiel, the right knee. Pene, the left knee. Penerum, the right foot. Baobel, its toes. Terahun, the left foot. Pikna, its toes. Myanmar, the toenails.
Well, that was brutal. I think we should all congratulate Lucy for getting through that.
That's right.
Sorry about that, folks, but sometimes I guess it just reads sort of like the Chronicles of the Book of Numbers, where it just talks and talks and talks. But we've gotten through it. The reason we are hearing the exact names of each demon who created and continues to supervise each parts of the body is because this is crucial knowledge in the medical systems that provided care for most of the people in the ancient world, magic. Exorcists and magicians were the physicians of the day. Jesus of Nazareth was one of them. One of the primary requisites for curing physical ailments was to know that the name of the demons controlling the affected parts of the body, so that they could be propitiated or exorcised, brought off or driven out. Without knowing their names, and usually names were secret knowledge, one could not hope to control them. The complex list of names empowers magicians and exorcists to cure. The Testament of Solomon, available on the internet, is an example of an ancient Jewish exorcist medical manual. And another footnote here, the material in the following few pages are absent in the short version of the Secret Book of John. As any occultist knows, names are everything, especially names of demonic entities and entities that you call upon. So that is the reason why Lucy read to you every demon that is affiliated with whatever aspect of the human body.
And those who were appointed over all these are Zathon, or Zathoth, Armas, Kalila, Label, Sabaoth, Cain, Abel.
These are the first beings Yaldabaoth created, although their names are spelled a bit differently here than previously. They are equivalent to the astrological active planetary forces: Saturn, Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury, Sun, and Moon. In accordance with the ancient view of the nature of human life, these demons control the physical elements of the human being who are coming into existence. We heard previously of 7 divine powers bringing into being a psychic framework for the human body, and even further back we heard of those 7 powers affiliating themselves with the 7 demons of the day of the week. In the present passage, humanity is being taken from its initial purely psychic form towards the physical form, and the demonic powers are asserting themselves to control it.
The energizing powers in the limbs were divided among the head made by Diolimardraza, the neck by Yamarex, the right shoulder Yakoeb, the left shoulder Verton, the right hand Oedidi, the left Arbao, the fingers of the right hand Lampno, the fingers of the left hand Likafar, the right breast Barbar, the left breast Ime, the chest Pisandriaptes, the right shoulder joint Coadi, the left shoulder joint Odeor, the right ribs Asphyxix, the left ribs Sinoquato, the abdomen Aruf, the womb Sabalo, the right thigh Kharkar carb, the left thigh, theon, the genitals, Barthinoth, the right leg, Keox, the left leg, Karcha, the right skin, Aoror, the left skin, Teochan or Teochtha, the right knee, Eol, the left knee, Carnir, the right foot, Bastan, its toes, Archimethe, the left foot, Marephanuth, its toe, Arbana.
This sequence largely repeats the body parts listed previously, but the names of the demons are different. The previous list, because it's specified, Arabi the penis, Elo the testicles, is for males, and this list includes the womb. Sabalo is for females. Both lists begin at the head, systematically proceed down the torso, and finally end at the toes. The origins of these demonic names are unknown. Possibly they emerged during the process of exorcisms when the demons would be interrogated and asked their names. Imagine an ancient magical book with a drawing of human torso and dozens of lines drawn to various body parts, each connected to the name of the demon to be invoked or exorcised in cases of medical necessity. The author of the Secret Book of John has a very dim view of the human body. As presented, it is a hive of demons. Every part, every function, every aspect of the body, even the psychological functions of the body, such as the senses and the ability to act, have demonic powers supervising them. Like the list of demons governing each part of the body, this list would have helped ancient exorcists and healers interact with relevant demons by name so that they could try to rectify physical and psychological symptoms.
7 govern the whole body. Michael, Oriel, Asmenidas, Saphesateo, or Tel, Armoiam, Rekram, Ameorps. The one who governs perceptions, Akindekta. The one who governs reception, Ditharbathas. The one who governs imagination, Umma. The one who governs integration, Akiaram. The one who governs impulse, Riyaram Macha.
The sequence of 5 governing factors may trace psychological events from the inception to their final outcome. The process seems to begin with direct perception, more to receiving information from the senses than to imagining the information, form and nature, to integrating the information into a whole mind, and finally to emerge as action of one sort or another. But there is not very much to go on here.
There are 4-fold sources of the bodily demons: hot, cold, dry, wet. Bracket. Matter is the mother of is the mother of them all. Unbracket. Ruler of hot, Vloksva. Ruler of cold, Oromothos. Ruler of dry, Erimacha. Ruler of wet, Athuro. Their mother stands among them, Onorthocracy. She is unlimited. She mixes with all of them. she is matter.
The creation of the human body in the secret book of John has proceeded from the most abstract elements whose powers for good seem to underlie various essential psychic or soul functions. Quote, goodness made of psyche of bone, providence made of psyche of sinew, unquote, and so forth. Through the creation of each physical part and its accompanying demon, down to the fundamental elements that compose the body, and finally to the base and mother of all of this, matter itself.
And they are nourished by her. The four chief demons are Ephemaphi, associated with pleasure, Yoko, associated with desire, Nenentophni, associated with distress, Blaumen, associated with fear. Their mother is Esthesis, Zuk, Epi, Pto.
Human beings experience many disagreeable emotions and impulses. In the psychology offered here, these emotions and impulses are caused by factors external to persons themselves. For example, to follow a sequence, shame is a subcategory of passion, fear. Fear emerges from the demonic ruling power, Blaomen. Envy stems from the passion called distress, and distress emerges from the demonic Nenentophni. The demons, in turn, arise from their mother, Estes Zouak Epi Puti, a Greek Stoic phrase that Bentley Layton identifies as Aesthesis ac ep puta, or, quote, perception not in a state of excitement.
Out from these four demons come passions.
The psychological theory of the secret book of John is that demonic powers working through human passion gave rise to negative emotions and impulses. This, too, is a primitive medical theory and not just speculation for its own sake. It arises from the fact that people feel they should have complete control over their emotions, and yet, of course, such control takes tremendous work through meditation and ascetic training. So most people find themselves feeling assaulted by passions and emotions that they would choose not to have. Some people in the ancient world concluded that if we do not have complete control of ourselves and our feelings, it follows that our feelings or passions are put to us by a demonic being. From the perspective of the secret book of John, the demons are thrusting these passions and undesirable feelings and motivations into us as part of our ongoing effort to render us ignorant and forgetful and entrapped. Now that's interesting.
From distress arise envy, jealousy, grief, vexation, discord, cruelty, worry, mourning. From pleasure come much evil, and unmerited pride, and so forth. From desire come anger, fury, bitterness, outrage, dissatisfaction, and so forth. From fear emerge horror, flattery, suffering, and shame. Bracket. Their thought and truth is Anio, the ruler of the material soul. It belongs with the seven senses, aesthesis, zouk, epi, ptol, in the bracket. This is the total number of the demons, 365. They worked together to complete, part by part, the psychic and the material body. There are even more of them in charge of other passions. That I didn't tell you about. If you want to know about them, you will find the information in the book of Zoroaster.
The sequence of bodily parts, emotional functions, and so forth that we have seen in the last few sections of the Secret Book of John are evidently taken from a separate book entitled the Book of Zoroaster. Zoroaster, or Zarathustra, founded the Persian religion that bore his name, Zoroastrianism. Some Zoroastrian priests, the Magi, appear in the story of Jesus' birth. It is a living religion practiced by the Parsis of India. In the ancient world, Zoroastrian Magi were renowned for their magical and astrological knowledge. It is not surprising to hear about a book of magical names credited to Zoroaster. The list given here have not actually provided the names of all 365 demons, but we can be sure that the other magical books did. There are good translations of magical texts from the Christian, Jewish, Greek, and Egyptian traditions, generally with the traditions mixed together. Magic recognized no boundaries. See suggestions for further reading. This ancient medical literature was the religion of the people quite far removed from the religion of the elite church fathers, and deserves more attention from scholars than it has received. In the Secret Book of John, the practice of ancient magic medicine receives a theoretical and cosmic foundation in Gnostic myth. And here another just general footnote coming up. Here is the short version of the Secret Book of John resumes.
All of Yaldabaoth's servants and his demons worked to finish the psychic body. For a very long time it lay inanimate. It did not move. Yaldabaoth's mother wanted to take back the power she had turned over the chief ruler. She earnestly asked the most merciful, the mother, father of everything, for help.
Despite all their labors detailed in the previous pages, the demons' imitation of the image they saw reflected on the waters above them fails to live. It lies still, a corpse, in the condition of Genesis Adam, just after God has made him from clay and before any breath of life entered him. And here at the end, now Sophia, Yaldabaoth's mother, initiates the trap. To make Adam live and move, Yaldabaoth will lay the foundation for his own destruction by freeing the power that sustains him into Adam, who was created specifically for the purpose of receiving it and restoring it to its original place in the divine realms. Now Sophia does what she should have done before her fall. She asks assistance and permission from the mother-father. So here, at the end of this chapter, we have Sophia initiating, you might say, the breath of life, which is the spirit, within the corpse, you might call it, of the human body. Well, if you made it to the end of this, congratulations for sitting through 30 minutes of this. I imagine it won't be quite so tedious in the future. And thank you for those of you who are listening, because I know we haven't made one of these videos in quite some time. So thank you. Thanks to the rest of the House of Hallel. We should be able to do this at least once a week during our House of Hallel meetings, so that we can all contribute to the dialogue and understanding of the Secret Book of John. We all have our own unique spiritual understanding, and it all contributes to the greater whole. This is Shindo.
And this is Lucifera.
You all have a good Sunday.